Stephanie.
Hi, it's Emily.
And today we're going to do an everything reaction video. I actually got tickets to see this advanced screening maybe like a few days ago. This past week or so. And yeah, so we went to go see it because we were like, oh, everything. Like we were talking about this in the other video, so yay.
Yeah, and we're both pretty good big fans of Nicola Yoon because we definitely read her The Sun Is Also a Star and we liked it, so we figured
go check
out
the video if you haven't watched it.
So I guess I'll start off.
Okay.
So every day, everything at the end, what?
Every day.
every day. Everything as a movie, I think at the very end of it, I felt like it could have fit so well as a modern day retelling of Rapunzel. Like that was kind of like the whole thing about like the mother being so smothering and wanting to keep her in a box and like having her Prince Charming being like, oh, like let me rescue you from there. I'm not sure if it was a loose retelling at all, like if that was the intention. I don't think so.
Actually,
yeah, but like for me, I definitely thought that the movie was worth watching. It was very cute. Like some of the little features and animations of like trying to explain the disease to you was great because it is kind of like a clinical YA fiction that kind of went along the same lines as like John Green's like Fault in Our Stars. It kind of came out around the same time where it was very much about like two star-crossed lovers who were teenagers and had some sort of disease that like prevented them from being together. So like the story for me was really about this young girl and she is diagnosed with I think the disease was like I actually don't fully remember the name of the disease, but basically she is extremely immunodeficient and she's unable to really leave the house and live in the normal world because everything has to be sterilized, otherwise she can get morbidly sick because she just doesn't have enough white blood counts or that sort of body defense to go against even just normal viruses or bacteria. And so her mom basically is a doctor and she lives in this isolated glass
so I just looked at it. I don't think it has anything to do with Rapunzel.
Okay, well that was kind of like the takeaway I had then because I thought it was a very good like modern day retelling of Rapunzel.
Now that you tell me, I'm like, yeah, it can totally fit as a modern day retelling.
Yeah. So like the mother herself and one nurse and the nurse's daughter are the only people who are ever really granted access to like for physical contact or anything like that to this girl, and she spends most of her days just going to online school, crafting like architectural models until one day when she finally gets a new neighbor, and this new neighbor brings along a guy her own age, and he's a little...
Or about her own age. It never really went into detail.
It never went into, but he's basically kind of in high school. He's a normal person. He is, and then he basically kind of goes into how he discovers her and ends up liking her more or less, and they try to communicate to each other via technology, and
thank God for phones and text messages.
Right? Otherwise her life would have been so freaking boring. And how like they sort of develop a relationship via online. Like it's kind of funny.
Not really, because they see each other. Yeah. They see each other while they're talking. There's a window that goes into his into his bedroom.
But then I would also say, so other than the fact that other than like the fact that online relationships, you're not really sure if the person is real. I feel like it actually is similar to that dynamic because like they still don't really know each other via like
so that's why like when they first actually met in real life, it was like kind of awkward because they were like, oh, like you don't really know who you really like. Because like honestly, like I know like at least like the online persona is like there's no face-to-face time at all. But for them, they did have a little bit of face-to-face because they at least see each other. You know, they're neighbors. So like their windows are pretty much right across from each other. They're able to see each other all the time, basically, if they wanted to. And so it didn't seem like it was more online in that aspect because like they were able to like see each other. The only thing is they couldn't actually talk to each other. So all their talking was online.
There was just a lot less nonverbal communication going on between them. Yeah, and I think the overall story just kind of goes into the conflict of like the mother not wanting her to be exposed to the world, her desire to really like see the world, and what kind of like unfoils after that. Right. So yeah, in general, what did you think? I talked a lot.
Yeah, I like this book. I mean the movie. I really like the movie. I haven't read the book yet, but the movie was great. I thought that some of the lines were a little bit cliche, and some of what they did were a little cliche, but at the same time they're teenagers, so how romantic can they really be, you know? Like, you have to think about that. Like, how witty, how much of a witty lines can they really offer? Like, probably nil. So in that respect, like, it made sense for this, you know, for their characters. And I really liked how even though, like, I really like how the guy changed her, like, little by little, you know? Like, he started to get her, like, in the beginning she was talking about like how like her wardrobe was just white, you know, white t-shirt, white dress, white robe, like white everything. And then it wasn't until that she started talking to him that she was like, oh wait, he can see me, let me start buying some clothes, you know? And then she would buy like these really pretty, like, bright color, like, dresses. They were never actually patterned. Do you notice that? It was always solid colors. Like solid blue, solid yellow, and she had a thing for the ocean, so a lot of her clothes were actually in shades of the ocean. I don't know if you noticed that, but I was like, everything is blue or teal or green except for like that one yellow dress.
You mean her swimsuit?
No, she had a yellow dress.
Oh, she had a yellow dress too. Okay.
Yeah, and a swimsuit. That's the only thing that's yellow. Everything else was in shades of the ocean. And I was like, that kind of really, like, you know, made sense because she loves the ocean. Like, she literally owned nothing in purple or red or like black, and the guy, everything he wore was black, so he made up for that part.
Actually, at the very end though, that kind of changed too for him. So it's kind of like even within like wardrobe and color.
Yeah, I know. I pointed this out.
Yeah, she definitely noticed that way more than I did. I was thinking about other things.
I was thinking about like their clothes because I was like, oh, because like we said, like, he mostly wore black throughout their entire relationship, and it wasn't until the end that he started to wear like jeans, like normal like blue jeans, not black jeans, and like wear like white t-shirts and like different color things that you're like, okay, like, so like it really shows how much each of them have changed the other's lives.
I was like, thank God she actually met this guy because of what happens at the end. Like, she never, which I understand, but she never doubted her mother until like the very end, and it wouldn't have happened if like she didn't meet this guy. And that was like a revelation for me, just because it was like you would have missed out on so much more.
And the ending was a little bit of like a surprise for me as well, because I was not expecting that part.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know, were you?
I think that was what I was caught up on. I was just like, there's something fishy going on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, for me, my ending was like, I don't want to get really into the ending of it, but like, I was expecting something like, you know, she found out that there is a cure for this, you know, because remember there's one point in the video where she was like, oh, I think like, you know, what I have is not really common and they might be able to fix it. So I thought maybe she'll like find some sort of treatment, and then that's how she'll get into like, you know, the normal world or something, like something along that line. But the ending, I was not expecting that, because I was just like, oh, okay, I guess this could have made sense too, you know, but yeah.
So for me, I guess like I was a little bit more like narrative focused, so I was just like, there's something weird going on here. Definitely. And because like her particular disease, it had actually like been like a more famous story going along, like in historically, of like this other guy who, like, he's called the bubble boy. Okay. And like he like basically had to live in like this plastic bubble for his entire life until he died when he was 12. So like it like brought up a few suspicions for me, since I knew that going to the movie when she started actually going out on her own. I was like, wait a minute, she's not sick enough. So like that kind of like edged me on.
But she only went out of her little room, like out of a little house, like twice.
No, but that's the thing. Like if she actually carried like the disease in the form that in the virulent form that it was, just doing that would have been enough.
Oh really?
Yeah. So like I got a little bit suspicious when like the movie dragged on more and more. But again, like for me, like I didn't catch the colors as much because I was like, this is weird. But yeah, I think the cinematography was great. Like it was always fun to really see like from their point of view, like what was going on. I felt like the characters themselves were believable more or less. Yeah, I felt like the guy was not too gentlemanly, and he wasn't like so like pure as to like being like, you're not real. He still has like family problems that you can see, and then she's able to witness them because like the windows are like, she's everything apparently. No sort of like privacy whatsoever, I feel like.
she'll look at like, oh, they're having a fight. Oh my goodness, they're doing this. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like everything just there. I mean, I guess what happens when you have neighbors. After the movie, we were talking about like the aftermath, like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, I think this is our cynical side of things. We're like, oh, who's gonna cheat on the other first? Like, I'm sorry, but we were talking about this, and I was just like, because like, okay, let's think about the girl for a second. She grew up her entire life in this glass house, basically.
She's very pretty too.
It's very pretty. She doesn't have any exposure whatsoever, so her only exposure is this guy. So obviously, like, this is the only guy that's ever had an interest in her because no one else knows about her, period. So because of that, she falls, like, I mean, not because of that, but like part of the reason is that that's the reason why she falls in love with him, because she doesn't know any better.
Rapunzel.
Okay, anyway, so she doesn't know any better, you know, she doesn't know, like, she doesn't have any choices, she didn't see any other options. Whereas opposed to, you know, the guy side of things, he was obviously the normal guy. Clearly I think he had some like loner issues, because he did mention about how like no one liked him, and I can see that because like the way how he dressed and like the fact that he was always like available for her and stuff like that, because he definitely pulled that kind of like goth, like emo side of things, like a skater emo, like emo skater. That's literally how I would describe him. So because of that, I'm like, okay, well, clearly he had options, but because no one else really likes him, this girl, she doesn't know any better, likes him, and therefore, like, you know, he falls in love with her, and like this whole thing, yada yada. So like, we were trying to debate about like who would like, you know, move on first, and like, yeah. So what are your thoughts?
My scenario was that at first I was like, interesting, like she's really naive about things, maybe she'd like want to stay more committed, I guess, while the guy after a while, because she doesn't really have like, other than like obviously her pristine upbringing and she's really smart, she doesn't really have that much of an edge really, like when it comes to like experiences, things that she can really talk about with someone who's more seasoned. And so for me, I was more like, oh, poor girl. And you were hilarious because you were the exact opposite. You were like, poor guy.
Yeah, because I was like, well, now she's gonna be like, oh my god, that guy is so hot. Like, hello there, you know? Because like, for me, I was kind of thinking, my reasoning was like, okay, so this guy, clearly he's, you know, have looked around, didn't see any options, and this is who he found. And he, like, to get her, like, her notice took a lot of effort too, you know? Because yes, she was bored, but at the same time, like, he had to like really be the one to initiate. Like, I think there were a few scenes where he was like trying to be goofy in front of her, in front of like the window, so like he can make her laugh and stuff. And because they never actually talked to each other in the beginning, it was so much harder for him to get her attention. So I feel like for him to come up with all that, like, you know, make all that effort to get her, I was kind of like, and now that she's like out in the open, she's gonna be like, hello boys, you know? And then like he's gonna be like, but because he made this effort, like clearly for me it seemed like he was more committed to this relationship than she is, or she would be. So I was the exact opposite. I was like, well, bye, like this girl's gonna like ditch you soon. But her she was like, no, like the girl's gonna ditch him soon. I mean, the guy's gonna ditch her soon. So I don't know, let us know what you think.
I don't know why you brought this out at all. Like,
no, I have to talk about
this. The cat does not agree with you.
The cat agrees with me. That's why he came out. He was like, oh, I agree with this. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, granted, like, I hope things do work out for both of them and that they stay together, but we're definitely talking about the cynical side of things. I think we're just really cynical and jaded at this point.
Really?
Yes.
Really now?
Yes.
Well, the cat apparently is here to tell you that he agrees with me now.
That we're both jaded and cynical.
Yeah, we're both jaded and cynical. Alright, well, thanks you guys for this great reaction movie video, and we hope you enjoyed the film as much as we do when you get a chance to watch it. Yeah, let us know what you think about it, and if you agree with what we said, or if you decide that you're cynical as well, and it's like, oh my god, who's gonna break up the other first? Hello, we live in New York City, okay? They'll live forever, happily ever after. What are you talking about?
We live in New York City. We're all jaded here. So
alright.
Anyways, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like us.
Bye.